What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I do apologize. I actually just ended a live stream that I had going on. It looks like when I clicked on Streamlabs, for whatever reason, it opened up the wrong stream, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to start here fresh. And I want to give a big shout out to the Myrtle Maniac Jedi Mike for pointing that out as I was sitting here getting ready to go into the chat and everything, pointing that out that, hey man, you're on the wrong stream. I'm not sure what happened there, but thank you all so much for being here. Let's go ahead and get into this video here today. Hey y'all, it's your boy Myrtle here. Welcome back to the channel where today I walked up the street to some mailbox. I broke into it, took somebody's mail, and we're going to open it up in this edition of Mail Hydra. So this first piece of mails I got in right here is this little thing right here, man. It's something about a Teamsters unions or something and voting and man, I don't know what y'all thinking, man. You think your boy Myrtle's part of the Writers Guild or I'm some sort of weirdo actor? I don't think so. I certainly ain't gonna be voting no kind of Teamsters union or nothing like that. Get out of here, man. Smash that like button. This next piece of mail we got right here, we got something in from the Bed Bath & Beyonds, and there's a free gift inside. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get this thing opened up right here, and you got... Oh, man, there ain't even nothing inside this thing, man. It says it's a free gift right on the front of the package. I don't know what the hell y'all trying to fool people, man. But anyway, the next thing we got here is this piece of mail right here from a thing called Valpak, and I just got a $100 check in here. So let's go ahead and go through here and look at the... Oh, man, there ain't no check in here for no $100. There's not even a coupon for a beer. What the hell's going on here, man? Oh, alright, well, I guess the next thing I've got here to show off is I found this box here in the mailbox too. You know, when you go there and they have the little key inside that you go to the bigger box in your mailboxes. Well, inside there, it was like a little treasure trove. I got this box right here. Let's go ahead and open this thing up right here and see what's inside. So what we've got here is, you know, you open this little package up and it looks like this little thing right here. It's like some sort of little postcard, but it's actually just a coupon code to get a discount off their website at commanamericans.com. So make sure you go check them out. So the next thing we got here, we got this little Badger hoodie, man. Check it out. Yeah! Let's get down to some real business. The next thing we've got here, this is Volume 8 of Common America, Fateful Lightning. Now, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like it's some sort of finishing move in the Street Fighters game. But I don't know, let me know what you think down in the comments below and I'll show off this next book we got right here. This right here is the Common America Volume 2 Omnibus. I don't even know what kind of bus it is. I ain't never seen no bus that don't have no wheels on, it's not painted yellow. But anyway, this looks like it's a thickie. Looks like it's got some quite a few books inside of here. We'll go ahead and give this thing here a read. I know Trendy, he's got some of these other books here, so he's probably read most of these already. The next thing we've got here is we've got this little piece of art thing, man. It's like a big postcard kind of thing. Suppose you could probably put this thing in a frame and put it on the little wall right there and hang it up with all your other little cute stuff that you've got. Now, the final thing we've got here in this package is this little character card for common unity. That's something that we need here, man. It's some common unity. Was that community? Common unity? Oh man, I don't know, community. That's what I call it. But I don't know, man, it looks like we got us a pretty nice haul of stuff here from these things that I just stole from somebody else's mailboxes. Of course, I probably would have felt a little bit better had there been at least a coupon for some beer inside that Valpak thing. And hey man, where's my $100 check? Where's my free gift from the Bed Bath & Beyond's? That's all we got today, folks. Let me know down in the comments below. What'd you think about this haul, man? Was it worth committing a federal crime and possibly going to jail for a long, long time just to get these little books here in the mail and no coupon? I don't know, man. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Y'all have a very good day. We'll see you in the next video. Yeah! All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you to your boy Myrtle for coming back. Your boy Myrtle's been back here in the studio a little bit more. Actually, we just got this package right here in the mail that he's got to get opened up. Should have a video of that coming up here very soon as well. Just got to let him know this thing came in so he can get in here and do some recording. Then I got to sit down and obviously do some editing. But you know, one of the other things that we're going to be doing here today is picking our channel member winner for this copy of Hell Witch Forbidden. We're going to be giving this away here in just a little while. We're going to pick the winner for that. But don't worry. After that, the next one that we're going to be giving away right here is Lady Death Cybernetic Desecration. This is the, God, what is this, chapter 17? Yeah, chapter 17 of Lady Death in the Comics universe. This is signed by Brian Pulido himself right there as well. So, very nice cover. And that's the hard thing about giving away some of these books right here is, I mean, look at that beautiful cover. I mean, isn't that awesome? That's, like, if you ask me, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But that's, it's a pretty nice little cover right there. It's a pretty nice little cover. But like I said, you don't have to worry about me. I've got plenty. I got the hardcover versions right here on the on the wall, as you can see, for us to get in, or for me to read actually as well. But thank you all so much for being here. I see we've got a few great people here. We've got my man Jedi Mike in the building, as well as RC Scott, Eric the Guapo, and even Fernie dropping by as well. Thank you guys so much for being here today, here on this this Saturday. What do you guys got going on this weekend? Anything fun? Anything important going on? I'll tell you, I've got some comic books here that we're going to talk about, and maybe we'll get into a little bit of talking about Ahsoka as well. You guys been watching the Ahsoka series? You know, Ahsoka. Yeah, the Star Wars thing that they've been doing on the Disney Pluses. Yeah, I don't know. It's been an okay show. It's been an alright show. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first let's talk about some of these different comic books that I've got here. You know, I actually got one that I forgot to show off just the other day. This came in a couple of weeks ago. I know a lot of people were talking about this. Like I seen on the Twitters, and I think even Eric Voss on New Rockstars did a video talking about this as well. This is the art of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I've been going through. Let me get this thing opened up here. I've been going through. I've been getting these art of books because, you know, one of the things I do like is these art books getting in here and being able to see some of the original concept art they had for the movies, as well as, you know, you can get some insight into different things that they were thinking about when they were making these movies, some of the design choices and things like that. Like for me, I know like some of the biggest ones I found were like, for instance, in like the Shang-Chi movie, where they were talking about the 10 rings and exactly what the 10 rings were made of, and the little glowing thing inside of the 10 rings as well. They don't really give any kind of indication inside in the movies about those kinds of things, and I think some of the insights that we get are very good for building theories. If you're into building theories, crafting theories, and things like that, and that's something I've done a little bit here on the channel. Where like in the Shang-Chi thing, you know, they were saying like that the 10 rings were made of this otherworldly metal, and that there's the little thing inside that was glowing was made of something else as well. And that kind of gave me a little bit of insight to some theories that I had regarding like the bangles that Ms. Marvel is wearing, and also takes us back to even things like the Emerald Tablet. You guys remember I did some videos talking about that as well. Some very interesting stuff.
looked at when it comes to inside of these art books. I'm not sure what the next one we've got coming in. What would be the next one after that? I'm not sure if it's Moon Knight or Ms. Marvel. That would be the next one, the next art of book. Because I'm sure they're probably coming out with a She-Hulk one. I'm sure I probably got that as well. They probably got a Wakanda Forever. I honestly can't remember if I got the Wakanda Forever. I may not have even got the Wakanda Forever one. I may not have even got the Wakanda because I might have just said, you know what, fuck that movie. That movie sucks, and I may not have ordered it. Because I'll be honest with you, I really didn't think Wakanda Forever was good. You know, like for me, the biggest thing was that the movie opens up on such this cold opening with T'Challa dying, and just it set the tone for the whole movie, which was suckage. Major suckage. I myself, I didn't like it. I know some people were like, oh, but it hit so close to home, because Chadwick died and everyone was sad. And you know what? For me, it didn't make the tone of if it made the tone of the movie, it made the tone of the movie not watchable. It opened up with me feeling disconnected, because at that point hadn't seen T'Challa in several years, and what connection at that point do I have? You took long enough to make a movie. You bring in this character who was big in his first movie several years ago, but then you come in this much later, you kill the character off screen, and that's the biggest thing, is there's no emotional connection there with that death and those things happening off screen, where I can go back, I can watch Avengers Endgame right now, and that scene, if you're watching it all, and that scene leading up to Cap, picking up Mjolnir and wielding Mjolnir and all that stuff, that scene still gets me, the juice is flowing, you know what I'm saying? It makes me really feel it. We're there in the opening of Wakanda Forever, and for me, it just it doesn't do it. And believe me, dude, I loved Black Panther. I thought Black Panther 1 was great. Of course, we know, the end fight scene, the CGI, whatever. But it's that movie still does it for me. I really do like it, and obviously, I'm still on team recast T'Challa, but that's a totally different story, isn't it? It's a totally different story, isn't it? Speaking of which, I put a post up on Twitter this morning, talking about, it's really actually kind of ingenious. Kevin Feige is really lucking out when it comes to the X-Men, and we've heard all these rumors that he is going to be utilizing some of the Bryan Singer era of X-Men to usher in the X-Men into the MCU. And the great thing about that is, when it comes to that, we all know how where they've gone with Bobby Drake, Iceman, in the comics, and it's so great. He has a boyfriend now, and it's so great the way that the life works in the real world, that Kevin Feige won't even have to recast or cast somebody new in the role to get Bobby Drake a boyfriend. Oh, there. Woo! Yeah. Sorry, man. That was too good, right? That was too good. That's it. You made it too easy, Elliot. Yeah, I know. I'm the worst kind of person in the world. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. All right. Oh, let's see. We've got some great people here in the chat. We've got Fernie's still hanging out. Jedi Mike still hanging out. We got Nerd Mafia in the building as well. Man, all right. Thank you so much for being here, Nerd Mafia. We got Two Gun Pedro, pew pew, in the building as well, my man. I seen you over hanging out over on Bruce and Stephanie Comics last night when they had David Andre on. We got Chillmonger in the building as well. Says, now watch the Bengals have no connection to anything. Oh, they will. I think them Bengals are going to have... well, obviously, I think they've got much connection to everything, just because, by the time we're going to watch in the Marvels, or Captain Marvel 2, when they, obviously when they come together, they, they even said in the show, has that gateway to another dimension. And I think the interesting thing here is about that is the fact of, we've seen and heard about all these different dimensions and things like that, where it's very interesting because where you get into Ms. Marvel, where they're talking about that this dimension is basically in our world, but we can't see it. There's there's just, like you basically have to still break through this wall, this barrier to get there. And then we're talking about that. We're talking about multiverses and things like that. Like all these different things. But then if you think about it, if you really think about it, what we see was that in the Doctor Strange multiverse of madness, remember the scene where what was the squid guy they had at the very beginning? That was there chasing after America Vespucci? No, America Chavez. Remember, and Doctor Strange does his little spell, and it reveals whatever the tentacle monster was. Remember, he done that little spell, and it's no longer invisible. Or remember, like in Moon Knight, how he was sitting there fighting against that werewolf and shit that you couldn't see. And I really do kind of feel like even in Ms. Marvel, they were talking about the newer dimension. It was it's basically right there, but like we don't have the ability to see it. But the thing is thinking about that, like the bangles can open that door, but it's just right there where we've seen Doctor Strange uses magic to reveal that the whatever the demon being was with the squid with the eye and all of that. Remember, like you know what I'm talking about. But just thinking that there's probably a world within our world that you can't see, that all you need is the access to get there, right? Is the access to get there. But I think there's definitely going to be a connection. But it would suck if there was no connection whatsoever. It would suck. I also seen we got Eric the Guapo in here as well. Got RC Scott. Says, the past 2 days have burned me out with resentment. I no longer care. Things are bad. We're eating each other. What happened, RC Scott? What are you talking about? Did I miss something? What happened? What about the past 2 days that burned you out? You no longer care. What are you talking about? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Yeah, the Emerald Tablet Theory trademark. Yeah, I need to trademark that shit, huh? The Emerald Tablet Theory. Yeah. Reboot the MCU, says Fernie. Yeah, and I feel like there is easily a reboot to be done, and the ways to do that is so many. Obviously there's this talk about Secret Wars and stuff like that people are talking about with rebooting the MCU. Look, sounds like a great idea. Seems very simple. My whole idea behind, an easy way to reboot would have been to do like the whole Secret Empire storyline, because it kind of does the same thing that even Secret Wars can do in this case as well. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, I think a reboot doesn't necessarily mean a full reboot. You can still have some of these stars coming in and being the characters that they're already portraying. You can recast some characters. Obviously, bring in a new Cap, bring in a new Iron Man, bring in a new Hulk, please. Bring in a new Black Widow, stuff like that. With some of this stuff, but I do think it's about that time. Plus, the other thing that I really don't like, and I've talked about this here as well, is like people get too freaking attached to a lot of these actors as these characters and stuff like that. Where look, okay, like I get it. We like RDJ as Iron Man. We love Chris Evans as Captain America. We love ScarJo as Black Widow. But the thing is, like, you get too connected to it. Obviously, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. People get too connected to these things. And look, Hugh Jackman isn't Wolverine, all right? Robert Downey Jr. isn't Iron Man. The actor shouldn't supersede the character. The character is the character, not the actor, right? And people get too attached to that. I think that's largely a huge problem with a lot of things, especially when it comes to things like T'Challa and why they didn't recast him in the first place. But that's, like I said, that's getting into a whole different discussion. Nerd Mafia says, took a break from hammering in wood flooring in the new house just to hear you ramble. Nice. Well, thank you so much for being here, Nerd Mafia. Yeah, the light dimensions. Yeah, Squidward. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Squidward. No. You're thinking of the other guy. Aglac says, yeah, I don't see the Cincinnati Bengals connecting much this year either. What's the Cincinnati? Oh, yeah. Ocho Cinco and Carson Palmer not really hooking up this year. Yeah, correct. Danny DeVito is the Wolverine. Look, honestly, that would kind of work. Like, wouldn't that almost work? I actually seen a comic book. God, man, what one was it in? I know I've talked about it here on the channel before. I think it was in that Fearless series that came out several years ago. In the Fearless series, they had, there's a bunch of little short stories in there. But there was actually one of the comic books, like one of the things, like one of the artists had Wolverine drawn in there. It actually looked like Danny DeVito. I'm saying, like, what the fuck? Like, I remember sitting there looking like, what the fuck is this art, man? That shit looks like Danny DeVito. And look, there's nothing wrong with Danny DeVito. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Hughes Returns Part 3. So yeah, man, and that's the other thing. You know what? Like, I heard Josh mentioning this shit a couple times too about Hugh Jackman, and the reason we don't see him, he has the long sleeves and stuff like that. We can't see the hairy arms is because like he's prone to cancer and this and that, blah 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 from the sun. Like look, all fine and dandy, good. I get it, but you know what? Like, he never fucking goes outside and has his skin exposed to the sun. Goddamn, like go scroll his Instagram and tell me he don't go outside enough. Okay, like come on. He does. Danny DeVito can play 0 other comic characters. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, Leslie. No. Sorry, Jedi Mike. Leslie Jones is Doctor Doom. Leslie Jones is Doctor Doom. Leslie Jones, Doctor Doom. But anyway, guys, let's talk about a few comic books that I have here. Just getting caught up on some reading here over the past couple of weeks. Something is Killing the Children, issue number 33. This series, I can't really say enough good things about it. Absolutely great series. We're 33 issues in on this series, and I've said many times here, there was a point through the Archer's Peak saga, like the first 15 issues, where some of this stuff kind of slowed down, and it picked back up. Where it seems like there was somewhere at a point where the series was probably supposed to be a shorter series, and they went ahead and extended it, which is all fine by me. Enjoying the series once we got here into Tribulation, New Mexico, and seeing this new creature that Erica Slaughter is after. Absolutely great series. This issue number 33, really good here as well, as we're getting closer to that confrontation with Erica and what's her name, Cutter. That's actually out there hunting her down. I think I picked up like a couple of other different covers of this book as well. Some absolutely great stuff. We've also got this one right here on AWA Upshot, which was Sins of the Salton Sea. This was issue number 4 of 5 right here. This series only got one book left, and I swear this series has been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I know I was talking about this one the other day where, it's like, these brothers are out, one of them's been gone for a while, the other one goes and hunts the other one down, and they got to go after that one last score, right? That one last score, so they can settle down, they can get out the game for the rest of their lives. If they just go after this one last score, they go out. Obviously, some double kind of crossing kind of happens. And here in issue number 4, the penultimate issue of this series, we learn really what's going on here with the Sins of the Salton Sea, and finding that this father who is actually after his son to kill him. But we can see what his reasons are for needing to do that, where obviously it seems like there's almost this kind of debt that has to be paid by this certain lineage of family. Otherwise, it's gonna leash hell upon the world. So some pretty cool stuff going on in this book right here, being written by Ed Brisson. I've thought it was pretty good. AWA Upshot has been doing some absolutely great books here over the past couple of years since they launched. A lot of those being written by J. Michael Straczynski, which I swear I talked about this. Was it last week? Was it last week or so when I was talking about this one right here? The Madness, issue number 2 right here, written by J. Michael Straczynski. Absolutely great book. If you haven't been reading The Madness, go out to your local comic book shop. I don't think this is one of those series that's in high demand. It's not one of those ones that I think speculators are out there after or anything like that. You should be able to find this. The Madness, issue number 2. Absolutely great book here. Just through these first 2 issues, J. Michael Straczynski introducing us to this new character and her motives for doing what she did. And here we get a little bit more of her origins here in this second issue. Absolutely great stuff. Like, this second issue is really what kind of did it for me on this one, saying, like, you know what? Like, this is a good one. It's a good one. And it's gonna be 6 issues, and I'm glad of that because J. Michael Straczynski he's pretty much the one that launched off this whole shared universe in the AWA Upshot universe, where you got things like the Resistance, the Reborns, and some of those different books out there that he has done, all taking place in this kind of post-apocalyptic world. Absolutely, just great stuff there from J. Michael Straczynski. I finally did get a chance. I did finally get a chance to finish J. Michael Straczynski's Captain America as well. I've been thinking that this issue, it's pretty good so far. We see, obviously Cap through all the different the different years where we're flashing back to his childhood, kind of what he went through as a kid there where he was growing up at, and fast forwarding into today where he's now a landowner. He's in real estate, and he ends up buying out this apartment complex where he's been living at. He's going to renovate it. He comes across some people through situations that's going to help him renovate the building, and just some of those different kinds of things. I'm very interested to see where the story goes. I will say, though, the artist on this series is the same artist who actually did the Nick Spencer's Captain America as well. But getting in here through the into the book, the art, I don't know, it doesn't seem to pop as much as what it did during that Nick Spencer's run of Captain America, where he was working on it as well. The art's not bad in it, just, I don't know, I can't even say lazier, just doesn't seem as, and maybe it's the coloring too. Maybe it has to do with some of the coloring, but I don't know, the art's not all the way there for me, but overall, that first issue I thought was pretty good as well. Then the next one got here was this one right here, Ms. Marvel, issue number 2. Been reading this one. Second issue, obviously. Decided to check this one out because, hey, like, let's face it, the new ambassador for the MCU, that is Iman Vellani, is actually one of the people that's co-writing this book. So when I heard she was on this book, it's kind of what they advertise it as. I'm like, yeah, hey, we'll check it out and see how it is. So far right here, I'm not really in on all of like the fall of X or the X-Men books. I'm not really up to speed on everything that's going on here, but obviously here we see Kamala Khan is going to this college that is basically being funded by Orchis. And she is there, and Orchis obviously has a big presence, and they are basically there hunting down mutants. And we know that now that she's part mutant, part inhuman, part human. I'm not exactly for sure how that works, but now she is there working kind of, I guess undercover, trying to find out exactly what's going on here. We got I can't remember what's her name over here? This character that is like the chick who, like, her body is all like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember her name all of a sudden, but I know, like, she was a kind of a big part in, like, a lot of the Hickman X-Men stuff when it first launched off there. But we can see here they're obviously they're experimenting on Chitauri, and obviously enslaving them and trying to experiment on them and trying to locate all the mutants because they're trying to put an end to them. Altogether, this Ms. Marvel series, it's not bad, it's not good, it's just kind of, yeah, it's there. I suppose it might mean a little bit more to me if I had been keeping up with all of the different things that they're doing with the X-Men in the current state that it's in, and there's just so much going on. It just wasn't worth it to me anymore, and I haven't really been reading a lot of Marvel books, let alone these X-Men books as well. And then the last one that I have to talk about these new books that came out this week was Ultimate Invasion issue number 4 as well. This is like the end of this little event mini series kind of thing. I did like this cover right here. I thought that was pretty cool. You kind of get the Kang Iron Man armor here where this one is obviously taking place in the universe 6160 or 6160. Get it? And we're seeing, the world is like, the status quo of the world is a little bit different here than what we see in obviously the normal 616, where instead of being Iron Man Tony Stark, it's Howard Stark. What's his name? Stane, Obadiah Stane, was actually, like really, I guess, kind of still buddies with Howard Stark. There's no kind of double crossing or anything like that. Dr. Doom went and picked up Howard Stark and is having him try to rebuild this Immortus engine that to help him basically go back and fix time. And just seeing some of that stuff, obviously we're dealing with like Reed Richards here as well, the Maker. And just, I don't know. Well, I guess it was the Maker that went back and it was the Maker that went back and got Howard Stark to make this Immortus engine. And just seeing some of this stuff, like the thing is, like, this story, it's typical Hickman fashion where it kind of puts out some cool shit out there, but in the end, I think this little miniseries ended up not working out for him because it just didn't really seem to lead anywhere quite yet. I think they're getting ready to do like a new Ultimate Universe kind of thing with some different characters coming up here over the next few months. So I guess this is ultimately just kind of the lead in to a new sort of Ultimate era series. And I don't know. These 4 issues just kind of didn't. I mean, I guess they might be the good setup, but ultimately, like so far, it feels like it's really led to nothing. And at an $8.99 cover price, I don't know. I'm not sure that it's really worth it. I know one of the big things a lot of people have been talking about, like on Twitter, is about is about the new Jonathan Hickman Gods series, and it's going to be like, I think it's going to be $9.99, like 80 pages and all this and that, and like look, I think Hickman's an okay writer, and maybe over the long haul he has something to offer, but here in this 4-issue series, it's just a whole bunch of nothing that really leads to nowhere yet, and I'm just not really big on it. I'm just not really big on it right now. So yeah, but is the other one still going on? Jason, let me go here and check that out. Let me go here and check it out. It might be. You might be right. Let me see what's I know I accidentally clicked the wrong one earlier, and then yeah, okay. Let me end that one. You're right. Yeah, there we go. My bad. Thanks for saying something, Jason. Yeah, not dual. I accidentally hit the wrong button earlier. We got started earlier, and then I clicked the wrong button, and then we're here, and so yeah, no, and yeah. Yeah, no dual streaming. I restarted it. There we go. I ended it. Thank you. But yes, let's see. We got Jason in the house. Says, "Oh shit, finally?" Yeah. Finally, what? Like, oh, the giveaway? Yeah. We're gonna be doing that. Future studio president, says Chillmonger. Yeah, Iman Vellani. Yeah, she should be. Like, for today, ambassador. Tomorrow, Studio Presidente. Absolutely. Like I said, I mean, I think, I don't know. I mean, I know some people, you can argue for what you will when it comes to all the shows and, like the Ms. Marvel show and however people did or didn't like it. For me, I will say I think it's probably the best of the MCU Disney Plus shows, only because I feel like what they did with that show is it nailed the genre and everything they were kind of going for, like mainly kind of for the target audience and everything as well. Like, the show stayed within its bounds and what it was supposed to do, where it seems like so many of the other shows just kind of didn't stick the landing, let alone stick to what it was supposed to be. Obviously, WandaVision is my favorite. where I like a lot of the stuff that went on with that one. You look at the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I think for the most part, a lot of the series with aside from Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye, I think a lot of the Marvel Disney Plus shows have like, for me, the ranking is pretty much, I would say, pretty much how they were released, with the exception of Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye. I think Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye are some of the better ones out there. But I think even the Hawkeye series didn't really nail a genre or what they were going for in that series also. It just kind of had a few missteps. But like WandaVision, I thought was absolutely great. How they did it was just so great. Especially like when it came out, all the speculation, everything going on around it. But it kind of did that. It did the whole, TV series from the, from the 50s on up through the decades. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier, for as good as I think it was, it's still, like, when you go back and watch it, it never quite hit that spy sort of thriller kind of vibe that they were going for, and mostly espionage kind of thing. And I think a big part of that is the fact that it didn't do that because of all the stuff that happened through the pandemic and how they pretty much Frankensteined that show together. They just chopped a bunch of parts out, chopped a bunch of other parts together, and just made it what it is. I would actually like to see what the original version or vision for that show would have been. I think it would have been a lot more compelling and a lot better than what we got out of it. But then after that, like, I've gone through and I've watched Loki multiple times, and I try to watch that show, and for some of the good stuff it really didn't it messes up so many things. And the biggest misstep of that show was some of the actors in it that I think just, Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston weren't able to save that show with as good as they are. Obviously we got Sophia DiMartino in there, who I just think is not a very good actor. She's about on the level of Gal Gadot, maybe just a hair bit. She's the same level. She just can't emote very well, line delivery and just stuff like that. Not very well done. You got the other, who was the other agent, the main agent lady for the TVA. The kind of heavier set lady. She's just like, her acting just didn't really do it either. She was just kind of, I don't know. For me, there's a big thing when it comes to acting is being able to convey emotion, whether that's through line delivery or even acting and emoting itself. And those two actors just really didn't do it for me. I do think, what's her name? Gugu Mbatha Raw. I think she's actually pretty good, but I think there's so many things just because we don't know about her character in the show that a lot of the line delivery came off stiff. The character came off very just kind of stiff. Not as bad as Sophia DiMartino or the other agent, C-15 or whatever, but like there, you know what I mean? And then, God, what other shows were there? Like, What If? Like, okay, whatever with that. Moon Knight show. Man, I've watched the Moon Knight show several times as well. And look, here's the thing about the Moon Knight shows. I think the Moon Knight show is actually done really, really well. The only thing is that's not Moon Knight. That's like that character in that show. That's not Moon Knight. Definitely not Moon Knight from the comics. But I watched the show. I'm like, man, this is actually a pretty good show. But it's just not Moon Knight. You know what I mean? Like, if you go read a comic book and tell me anywhere where that show represents the character of Moon Knight, where it represents Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley and Mark Spector. That's not it. That's just not it. But other than that, like the show itself, I mean, I think the show itself is pretty good, except for it's just not Moon Knight. It's just not Moon Knight, But I don't know. That's I guess that's another another thing altogether. Hawkeye, obviously, I think it was pretty well done. Just kind of didn't really nail down a genre and some of the just like the little things like the Kingpin and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I'm not exactly for sure. They sort of dropped the ball on that one, but kind of picked it back up at the same time. You know what I mean? Obviously, She-Hulk. I went back. I've watched the She-Hulk show a couple of times, and that one, for as much as people don't like it. I don't think it's that bad of a show. It's just not very good of a show. You know, I know one of the arguments people were making, I remember seeing a lot of, was people talking about like, oh, you know, they should have made it on, you know, after this comic book and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? It's funny, too, because I was watching Jim Mint today. He just dropped a video talking about the worst omnibus you've ever read. And for me, like, hands down, it's the Savage She-Hulk omnibus. I don't even know if I made it to issue 10 on that omnibus. I'm just like, it's not even terrible. It's just boring. And like, to me, like people were talking about the show and everything, like, oh, She-Hulk is so cool, and this, like that fucking show matched the OG run for me. There was plot conveniences. There was stuff that I'm sitting there going like, what is this? It's just boring. Like that's where it was for me. That's where it was for me. You know, I actually just watched Werewolf by Night the other day too. Absolutely great series. I love that special presentation. I like the special presentation format. I think they could have done a little bit more in that show to make it pop and make it a little bit better. Obviously overproduced as they are sitting there using digital cameras. They use, I know in a couple scenes they use the volume for, like, you know, like it's just overproduced in that scenario. They could have just got an old school like camcorder or whatnot and shot everything else in that same place and done exactly what they done without all the technology, and it would have looked better and would have gave a better presentation for the show. But that's just if you ask me. Just if you ask me. And Secret Invasion, that was just a pile of shit. It wasn't like even Secret Invasion. It's one of those ones too. You know, you get the acting and stuff in there. Except for, you know what? What's her name's acting in that show? The one from the Game of Thrones actor girl. Her acting wasn't even really that great in that show. In Secret Invasion, like a lot of it was just like it was caca poo poo. It just wasn't that great. It was pretty bad. And, you know, I've seen people were having that talk about it was worse than She-Hulk and stuff like that. And you know what? Like, I gotta be honest, man. I kind of think that Secret Invasion was worse than She-Hulk. I know. I don't even. And the thing is, like, you can get on the internet, and I don't even think that's a hot take. I mean, I think Secret Invasion was worse than that. I think it was. Yeah. Leading to the Marvels, Iman hype. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best part of the Marvels is seeing Iman Vellani light up the big screen. I think it'll be good. Yeah, nice face shield. Which face shield? What are you talking about? Did I miss something? Are you talking about Erica Slaughter? Probably needs the face warmth on those CA morning rides, 100 miles at 40 degrees. Yeah, we're not quite there yet. It's not quite there yet, but yeah. Oh, is that what you're? Yeah. It is actually today was is kind of chilly here. Karima Shapendar, Omega Sentinel. There we go. The Omega Sentinel. Yes. Yeah. Karima. Yeah, that's right. See, Chillmonger remembers. That's why we got Chillmonger here, man. The expertise. That's actually kind of how I first learned of Chillmonger, was his expertise when we used to watch all those live streams that Professor Bill used to do, or on Comic Book University and some of his videos. That's where I think that's where I first really remember running into Chillmonger, was over there. Yeah. Jedi Mike says Star Wars High Republic books still slapping in my opinion. Are you talking about like the comic books? Because I haven't seen a High Republic comic book come out in a while. But I'm just talking about the books in that case. All right. I haven't read any of the Star Wars. Like for me, and that's the thing where it's almost hard to say that when I'm sitting here talking about the MCU, which should be based on the comic books. It's got a lot of its roots and origins there. But like for me, like Star Wars is one of those things, like it's a cinematic universe. It started in movies. It should remain in movies. And doing the whole books, they've had books coming out for years. They got the comic books, now we've got the TV shows and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Kangor, man. What's Kangor, man? Kangor? Kang or Man. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Kangor instead of Iron Man. Kangor Man. Yeah. Yeah, I still dual streaming. Oh yeah, no, I took care of that. Yeah. What was that? Agents of Shield? What? Agents of Shield reboot 2015, please. Yeah, you know what? I like Agents of Shield. I did like that show. Yeah. No, I was questioning RC. Yeah. There was two. Yeah. Oh, okay. Credit. Okay. Yeah. 8 years, no more beers tomorrow. Nice, Jedi Mike. Good deal. Hey, she knows her stuff. That's for sure. Gotta love actresses that appreciate the source material. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Ms. Marvel. Hi. Trinity was enchanted with Moon Knight.
Who the fuck are you, man?
WandaVision was great to the last episode. Same with Falcon and Winter Soldier. No, I mean, well, I think WandaVision. I even liked the last episode of WandaVision too. Like it could have been it could have ended and been a lot cooler. Yes, absolutely. But like overall, the show, I mean, I think it was pretty good. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it had its highs and its lows for sure. Moon Knight was good throughout. I mean, I think, like I said, I think the show itself was good, just not Moon Knight. It's just not Moon Knight. Falcon and Winter Soldier still better than Hawkeye, says Jedi Mike. All right, fair enough. Yeah, Loki season 2 hype. Yeah, I can't be hyped about Loki season 2 because Sophia DiMartino is still in it, and it looks like she's gonna be in it even more, and that's just bad. Hopefully she took some acting classes between last season and this season. We'll see. Yeah, she's pretty good. Yeah, absolutely. The DVD says Jason. I know what you're talking about there. I seen Orgasmo. Don't trust Miss Minutes. Well, here's the thing about Miss Minutes. Think about even the name. Miss Minutes. Right? Miss Minutes. Think about Miss as in not in Miss, Mrs., Ms. Think about it as in Miss. Like you missed me, right? Miss Minutes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, WWBN on Disney Plus as a W. What's WWBN? What I don't even know what that is. Hawkeye was a great Christmas TV show. Got to get home for Christmas. Is its own genre. Yeah, it really is. Just like, like the only Thanksgiving show movie that I can really think of is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like there's gotta be a Get Home for Thanksgiving genre too. But unfortunately, there's only one movie in there, right? There's only got to be one movie. But yeah, or maybe is it Got to Get Home for Christmas, or is it just Home for Christmas? Or I don't know. You're probably right. Jedi Mike says Kenobi. Yeah, Kenobi was pretty bad. I realized that once we got going into it. Yeah, the beard. Yeah. Okay, the comic book. Yeah, they haven't. I haven't seen a High Republic one come out in a while. Or maybe they just have. I don't know. Because I know they're doing like hyperspace stories. They got Dark Droids coming out right now. Obviously, Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader, Mandalorian, the main Star Wars series. Seems like it's been a while since I've seen a High Republic one come out. Though I guess not that long ago. Probably a couple months ago that I remember it. But I don't know. Could be just me. But anyway, guys, you know what we need to do? We need to get into this thing where we're going to do this. Let's do this. See if we can do this. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Let's do this. Let's do this members giveaway right here. Let's do this member giveaway. Where we're going to pick the winner here. We're going to pick the winner here for our Hell Witch Forbidden. Oh, what the hell? What's that on there for? Why is that? I mean, I know, like, but let me see here. Why is that like that? No. Let me turn. I don't know why that's like that. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. We're going to be giving away this copy of Hell Witch Forbidden. Yeah, look at that. Look at that nice cover right there. Gonna be giving away this copy of Hell Witch Forbidden to one of our lucky channel members. Let's see who we've got here. Exclamation raffle 10. Yeah. No, here. Let me see. Where are we at? Where's my screen here? Let's pull this up here. Here we go. Here we go. All right. We're gonna do this thing in. We've got all of our members in here. Let's go ahead and give this thing a spin and see who is the winner of this copy of Hell Witch Forbidden. Let's see. Oh, who we got? Oh, Lucas Texvenger, my man. Winning Hell Witch Forbidden. Chapter 5 of Hell Witch in the Coffin Comics universe. Lucas Texvenger, you know what? And I've actually still got, I've got another book to still send out to Lucas Texvenger anyway. So yeah, I've neglected to send out that copy of he won the volume 1 of Here Comes Calico manga a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we'll I'll make sure I get that out to him. Lucas Texvenger, congratulations. We'll make sure we get that sent out to you here very soon. Yeah, rigged. Yeah. Anytime it's giveaway, you gotta say rigged. You gotta say rigged every time. All right. So yeah, let's get back over here and see what we've got going. See what we've got going on. You know, I do need to get right here and do this thing right here. I know there's something else. There we go. We'll get back over there here in just a minute. All right. Oh yeah. You gotta love how the chat, it always, like when you switch scenes, it always makes the chat disappear again. So now it looks like I got a bunch of big empty space over here on the screen. So everybody, drop a comment down there in the comments section. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Ahsoka series. You guys been watching Ahsoka? Let me know down in the comments below what you've been thinking about it. We've got Aggressively Relaxing in the building. It says High Republic has Lego and a kids show now. The newest book, Path of Vengeance, was great. They got these Komodo dragons that feed on Force users, leaving a statue of Ash. Komodo dragons that feed on Force users, leaving a statue of Ash. Nice. Do they have corgis? Do they have corgis? Do they have the dogs of war aggressively relaxing? Do they have the dogs of war? Do they? Let's see. Libby Shill. All right. With the app Libby and a library card, you can listen to your area's collection of Star Wars books tonight. All right. I probably need to do that. I need to get on that. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Mike, we lived long enough to finally see the other universe that has been teased for years. All right. Okay, Chillmonger here says, Ahsoka has been strong. All right. Jedi Mike says, The series is a 9. You know, I can take that seriously because you didn't say it's a 10. You know, like, yeah, you guys know how I feel, man. Like, so many people go out there just throwing around, you know, 1, 2, or 9 and 10. They just go out there throwing it around there all willy-nilly, acting like everything's the goddamn best. You know, like, look, when Mike Porter comes in here and says, like, oh, like, it's a 10. Like, look, we know that Mike is the Stan Show Porter. We know that. We know. So, like, we can let Mike Porter off saying 9 or 10. But chances are he don't even say 9, it's 10. Like, he can get away with that. Not everybody can get away with that. Most people, I want to hear a sensible scoring. Not everything can be a 9. Not everything can be a 10. You saying that things are like a 9 and a 10. Like, a 9 and a 10, that shit's like the best of the best, right? 9 and a 10, that's the best of the best. And most things don't even come close to that. Most things don't even come close to a 9 or a 10. So, like, a lot of times I can't take it seriously unless I look at it and can objectively say, yeah, I can really see how somebody would like this as a 9 or a 10. I can understand it. I can't even understand that with this show so much, with Ahsoka. I can agree with Killmonger for sure. I think it's been strong. There's just things about it that I don't, obviously, I don't particularly like. You guys know how much I love the use of the volume and everything they do with Star Wars, that stagecraft they use. I don't like it. It was very, very prevalent in the first couple of episodes. I think they just haven't really found a way to really utilize the volume on a consistent basis in a very good way. The best they've done with it was probably in The Mandalorian. And even that, there's so much of it where it's kind of like, man, I don't know. But I think in Ahsoka they've done pretty good. But like that first episode of Ahsoka where she goes to like that temple or whatever, and she's sitting there doing the thing, doing her Indiana Jones thing, like that whole scene when she got to that planet and they're sitting there like the pillars and all that shit. Like, I'm sitting there looking at them like, dude, that looks like a fucking digital. It looks terrible. It looks so goddamn fake. Like, it just, like, it pulls me out of it every single time. But since some of that stuff in the first couple episodes, it's not so bad. But I do think the Ahsoka series has been pretty good. I know I've seen a lot of people talking online about, like, you know, with regards to the fact that obviously this ties in a lot with like the Clone Wars and the Rebels show, and people talking about like, oh, like I don't understand this and I don't understand this about the Ahsoka series and this and that and blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. And people online, obviously, you know, we know how they are, and people are like, oh, well, you gotta watch the Clone Wars, you gotta watch Rebels and blah. And look, you don't even need to do any of that. I've watched this show Ahsoka. And I don't really feel like there's something I need to know. You know, like I've missed a whole lot. I think they get across pretty well in the series that obviously Ahsoka and Sabine have a history together. We can obviously see that Hera is a big part of that. We can obviously tell that Ezra was a big part of that. Thrawn is a big part of that. What else do you really need to know that they haven't alluded to in this show from the previous show? I'm sure there's some things, but for the most part, like, I get it. These people have a close relationship and close bond with each other, and they're all kind of they're all kind of going to be drawn together they all have sort of a mutual common cause for that, and that's obviously their friend Ezra, who is no longer there. But they've also, through that, they've also still got a lot of those same things that kind of pull them apart too, right? They kind of get a little bit of a discourse between those different characters, and you can see and get the feel for a lot of that within the show. Within the show altogether. Like, I don't, like, I've been watching the show, and like I don't feel like I need to go back and catch up on everything Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I don't need to watch everything fucking Star Wars Rebels. I don't need to go back and watch seasons and seasons of fucking cartoons to understand what's going on. It's like, and that's the thing. Like, you know, like so many people act like some of this stuff like I don't think Star Wars is that fucking deep. You know what I mean? It don't have to be that deep. Like it's perfectly fine how it is. Right? Like I don't need to go back and watch all these shows. I can watch Ahsoka and get it. I can understand without having to know every little thing that happened in Clone Wars and in Rebels to feel, you know, what's going on in the story. But I don't know. That's just if you ask me. It's just if you ask me. But I think the show's been pretty good. Like, it just had times where it's kind of dragged. It's been a little slow. But to me, that's just a TV show. That's how TV shows are. I'm not really big on TV shows, streaming shows, whatever. Not really big on them. This show, it's been all right. It hasn't dragged so bad that I'm kind of like tuned out. I'm like, you know, they've got 8 episodes here. I think they probably could have cut out some of the time in there. But altogether, I think it's been pretty good. I think the only thing is like some of the things that I feel where it's kind of slowed down and could do better in parts with that is in the fact that we've got 1 episode left. Suppose it's going to be like 46 minutes and some odd seconds with credits rolling at like 42 minutes, some odd seconds, something like that. So we've got 42 minutes getting ready to come up. I'm like, bro, a lot of shit is going to have to happen in this next episode to kind of bring the conclusion to this season or even this series altogether. I just feel like there's a lot cut out for them where just like a lot of these other Disney Plus shows we've seen, they probably could have cut back some of this other stuff and, you know, put a little bit more here, a little bit less there, and, you know, I guess made better use of their time. I think they could have made better use of their time altogether. Two Brothers Comics, what's up? Says, where's the weirdos? We're all here, baby. We're all here. Thank you so much for being here, Two Brothers Comics. Hope everything's going well for you. Says, I've worked out this fantastic system where I don't watch any of it. It's foolproof. Right. Well, and that's the thing is these days you don't have to watch any of it. You can just get on and watch somebody's stream or watch somebody's review and like pretty much know what's going on, right? Because everybody spoils the shit out of it and all that. And look, that's all fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with people spoiling shows and all this stuff. Like that actually reminds me. Somebody I follow on Twitter just the other day, they put up this tweet about how people see this and that in the Ahsoka show, you know, and like but yet they brought Maul back or something like that. And I was like, and I said. And I replied to it, I was like, Maul's not dead? Or like, Maul came back? And somebody I don't even know, they ended up blocking me anyway. They responded. They were like, oh yeah, well in this show, you know, Darth Maul, blah 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 blah. They kind of went on this whole little spiel and everything about what happened with Darth Maul. And I was fucking around. I said, spoilers. I figured after what I replied to this one guy, like Maul came back, and then, you know, this person spills everything out because obviously I acted like I didn't know that he came back, and, you know, this person just spills the beans on everything. I was like, spoilers, and they get all upset and they're like, oh, you know, this and that. Like, I'm like, I can't exactly remember how, but they're like, they said, you know how old the Clone Wars is, right? And I'm like, what, like. You know what a joke is, right? And they're like, oh, well, it's called, what is it? It's called tone to text and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm just kidding. But regardless, it wouldn't matter how old a show or a movie is. Spoilers are fucking spoilers. You see, like, I'm kidding, but you see, like, I put on there like, oh, Maul came back? I act surprised. And then you came out here and spilled the beans. I said, spoilers. Like, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But they're like, oh, it's tone to text and blah blah blah. And I was like, look, if I was gonna go tone to text from what you've already said, I would take you. I would assume that you're a sarcastic asshat, but I don't. I just figured, you know, like, you know, just like whatever. But they got all upset. They're like, oh, but now you're just being passive aggressive and blah 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 blah. And they fucking block me. I'm like, and that's the thing that gets me. Like, why do you even respond with saying anything if you're just gonna block somebody? Like, what's the point of even responding if you're just gonna block them? Like, You respond. You know you responded, and I can't read that shit, right? You get that, right? Like, why don't you just wait, leave your response, wait till I possibly read it, maybe respond, and then do the block. But no, you do like, oh, I'm gonna leave a response, block. Like, yeah, I can't read it now. It's just funny. It just cracks me up. But yeah, no, I knew Darth Maul came back and all that shit. I was just kidding. It was a joke, and I thought it was pretty obvious. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, you can watch. You don't even have to watch shows anymore. You can just go watch Josh's stream over on the Den of Nerds, and he spoils the whole thing for you. Oh man. But yeah, Chillmonger. Yeah, I think Ahsoka's been strong. It's been pretty good. E-Library is your tax dollars. Taxation is theft, my man. But yeah, you're probably right. Should at least use it since they're using my money for fucking all kinds of other bullshit that they shouldn't. Aglac says, do I like Ahsoka? The show that is doing all the things I said would happen? Yeah, I like it. Oh, are you like, was that part of your script? Was that in your script, like theory? Was that in your script? Oh man. Aglac says, the Corgi Dogs of War from Star Trek comics. I got all them covers. Borgie is a good boy. Resisting pets is futile. Yeah, it is. Everybody loves their pets, man. James Jimenez, thank you so much for being here, James. I still gotta get. I haven't got the book mailed out. I'm gonna. You know what? Look, that's my promise. Here over this next week. I'm gonna get your book mailed out. I'm gonna get Lucas Texvenger's book mailed out because he just won this copy of Hell Witch Forbidden, #1, and then don't forget, guys, if you like what you're seeing here, you channel members, we're gonna be giving you Cybernetic Desecration away here very soon as well. Cybernetic Desecration is the next giveaway we're going to be giving away to one of our lucky channel members. Mike Porter, yeah, the Dad Jokes Team Half Full, yeah, absolutely. Aglac says that ring of dead space whales was incredible sci-fi. You show that to people in the 40s and they jump out of the windows to get away from the screen. Yeah, was that what that was? Like, it looked like Saturn or whatever, but it was all just like a bunch of dead whales out there. Yeah. Once a rebel, always a rebel. Yeah, I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel. Oh, man. That's funny. Andor Encyclopedia TV. Oh, don't say that. Don't say it. You know what? I still haven't even watched the last 2 episodes of Andor. I still haven't even watched it yet. Aglac says, watch Mace Windu take back Ryloth at the end of season 1 of Clone Wars. You definitely want to watch seasons and seasons of Star Wars. Hundreds of hours of books and decades of video games. Yeah, I don't know. We got Carl Wickstrom in the building. Says Star Wars is back. Yeah, no, it's not back. It's not back. But nice try though. I know what you're trying to do. I see the little face you got there. No, and that's something I've talked about as well. Like when it comes to that, like, look, I think a lot of these series, I think they can hurt more than they can help. But I think even if any of these streaming shows were going to help Star Wars, it's going to take a series of consecutive good seasons of shows in order to bring it back the excitement level to it. And that's the other thing. Like, you know how the internet is. Star Wars is dead and all this stuff. Like, yeah. For some people it is. Some people like all this stuff, and some of us don't. And like for me, like it's like Star Wars is just in a place where like, yeah, there's not a whole lot to be excited about. I watch Ahsoka, I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's not gonna make me think like, oh, rah, Star Wars is back, baby. But it's got me like, yeah, it's okay. It's a decent. It's a step in the right direction. it's a step in the right direction. Just kind of like as bad as Ant-Man Quantumania was, I feel like it was a step more in the right direction than Wakanda Forever, Love and Thunder was, or She-Hulk was. You know what I mean? Like, it was a step more in the right direction. Albeit, you go and watch the movie and there's just so much terrible CGI in that goddamn movie. It makes it hard to watch. But it was a tippy toe in the right direction. It was a tippy toe. Maybe it was a pivot. It was a pivot from like suckage to, you know, to. It was a pivot to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was. I can't watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 again. Like everything that was so bad when I first watched Guardians of the Galaxy, it's even worse in the home experience. Like, you know, it's okay, you know, to have music and a soundtrack, you know, in your movies, but like when it's fucking drowning out every goddamn thing in the movie, like the music don't need to be that loud, James. Turn that shit down. Turn the fucking volume down. Turn it down, man. Oh man. Aglax says, watch Star Wars now, or you end up watching YouTubers read Wikipedia articles I write with intentionally funny language. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Wikipedia is great. You know what, Aglax, you need to be on there. You need to punch it up. You need to pump those numbers up, Aglax, on Wikipedia. Yeah. We got Justin the Star Wars Marvel Pierce in the building. What is up? Says busy weekend, baseball games. And band performance, yada yada, just dropping in to show some love. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend, brother. Ahsoka is trash. Episode 1 through 6 and EU true canon for you Star Wars only. Take it easy. Nice. Justin coming in and dropping some knowledge for y'all. Yeah, no, and believe me, I understand that. My schedule's getting filled up too. My daughters started taking more dance classes. My son's soccer season. My kids in music practice. So like Mondays, man, my Monday evenings are pretty much filled up right now. Tuesday, not so bad. Wednesday, not so bad. Thursdays, again, another busy day for me. So we have some days that you know, I'm starting to get a little bit more free time, so I can probably hopefully do a couple more morning streams here during the week. James says, I freaking knew it. Yeah, it's a soon. I'll get it done. Carl Wickstrom says, Star Wars never left. Yeah, maybe it didn't. I think it really just, like I said, you know me, man. That's kind of how this whole, you know, fandom thing works when it comes to these things. Like, look, you like what you like, that's okay. You like this, you like that, you like, you know, whatever they're putting out, that's just fine. Some people will enjoy what's being put out regardless. Some people aren't as hung up on their criticisms of what's going on as much, and still able to enjoy it, where some people aren't. And look, I get it. That's fine. That's cool. You know, if you're highly critical of this thing because it's something you really enjoy, and seeing some of these movies and these shows and stuff just doesn't do it for you, it kind of ruins the experience for you. Hey, all good and fine and dandy. The only thing is, like, don't expect it to ruin it for everybody else, and don't, you know, and that's the other thing. You know, it's something we talked about here on the channel a lot, is nobody has to have, and that's what I hate too. Like, you know, like, oh, you're not a real Star Wars fan, or, you know, what's your reason for not liking this? Or what's your reason for liking it? And all that stuff. Like you have to give your reasons, what you like about something or what you don't like about something, in order for this person to either to discredit or validate what your opinions are on the show. Like it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what you think about the show and I think about the show. Like, if I don't like it, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine. It doesn't matter what you think about my opinion of the show, in the sense that, you know, like, I can not like something while you still like it, and it doesn't matter, right? But a lot of people can't stand and let somebody else have their own opinion of it. Like it's always like, oh, you're just a hater. Oh, you're just like this person or just like that person. You've been around. Like, it's not really all that. And I shouldn't really have to explain to you, and if I do, you can give your reasons what you do and don't like about a show. That's fucking great. You know what the things that you do or don't like about it, that doesn't make you right. It doesn't make you wrong. And somebody else saying you're right or wrong, like, it doesn't invalidate or validate what your opinions are. Like, you can like it or dislike it for whatever fucking reason you want, right? Some people just can't deal with that, though. Carl, are you on the... Carl, did you get it on the collector's edition of Unity? I missed that first stream about Unity. I missed it. Comic book guy voice. Which EU are you referencing, purist? He's not here right now. He took off. He's got a busy weekend. Aglax. Let's see. And of course, I always joke about those kind of things, though, too. You're not a real fan. Carl's EU? Aglax says, there's like 4 dudes on the internet that keep trying to explain the sequels were bad, even though they are some of the most popular movies in history. All of these shows are building a Rey story. Well, there's a lot that could be argued there, Aglax. There's a lot that could be argued there in what you're saying there. 4 dudes on the internet trying to explain that the sequels were bad. Like, look, they can think that they were bad. They think the sequels were bad, and that's fine. Like, I mean, I think they're all right. There's some things I do and don't like about them. But now, as far as most popular movies of history, like, that's debatable because for one, obviously we know, especially with the internets and social media, that has kind of made nerd culture a cool thing, more popular than it's ever been. So, I mean, some of the most popular movies in history, I mean, yeah, and they've done and made a lot of money, I mean, but I think you've also got to think about, like, movie tickets gone up, the inflation and all that stuff. I mean, it's all debatable. Like, maybe if we went by actual ticket sales, not by dollar amounts, and maybe that would be a more accurate way to gauge these things. Actual ticket sales, not the amount of money it makes. Where it's all fine and dandy to track how much money the movie makes, all fine and dandy. But is that really the true indicator of how many tickets were actually bought? Because where I get tickets for my local cinema, they're probably cheaper than other areas of the country. They're probably more expensive than other areas. You know what I mean? Like, I think some of that, like, actual ticket sales, the actual number would probably make a difference. But also, like I said, I mean, I think there's explosions in some of those numbers because, like, nerd culture has become cool now. Everybody wants to be one of the cool kids who's into this. Where, like, I've been watching Star Wars a lot longer than fucking you, Aglax, okay? Fake fan. Son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Calmer than you are.
Yeah. I'm calmer than you are, man. But yeah, no, you know what? And I've actually was actually watching Star Wars with my kids the other day. We went through, we watched Star Wars, then we watched my son, I don't know, whatever reason, he put it on The Empire Strikes Back first. And then we watched Star Wars. And then I don't know if we finished it, but we got to finish Star Wars. And then we'll probably watch The Empire Strikes Back again. And then we'll watch Return of the Jedi. Yeah, really is good stuff, man. Really is good stuff. All roads lead to Rey Skywalker. I see what you're doing there, Carl. I see what you're doing there. Chillmonger says, nah, real fans like it. Right. I think Chillmonger's just validating my my point. I think he's validating my point. Yeah.
Oh, your food's getting cold.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Carl says, yeah, I'm a collector. Oh, all right. You're a collector. Don't miss much, just a discussion. Yeah. Don't think about it too much. Yeah. Don't think, yeah. It's not that deep. James Jimenez says, somehow Palpatine came back. Yeah, they all come back, right? Don't they all come back? Avatar snooze. I watched the first one. I haven't watched that new one, The Way of Water. I haven't watched it. Is it any good? I know what Carl's going to say. Carl's going to be like, no. He's going to say Avatar is about as entertaining as Dune. I haven't watched Dune either. Jedi Mike says, I'm as old as Lucasfilm. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm getting there. Not as old as, like I'll never get there because, it was around, like just a little bit before my time. But yeah. I get you. Says, I'm the oldest. The way of naps, huh? Yeah, and all this. Speaking of which, all this kind of stuff, got me thinking about. I need to reach back out to Scotty. Been meaning to get Scotty Hawk on for an episode of Nerd Therapy. I was talking to him a while back about getting him on for an episode so we can do that. Dune is way worse. The Way of Water is great CGI water. I like that. I like that.
Bermuda, baby.
Woo! Yeah, that was a good one. But Dune is way worse. All right. But yeah, I need to reach back out to Scotty, get Scotty Hawk on, have a discussion. And I think I've thought of a pretty good topic for us to talk about for an episode of Nerd Therapy. I was actually having an exchange yesterday with I'm not sure, some of you guys probably know G.A. Longaro, Darth Lunga. Just about like the Rippaverse and some of that shit. We were kind of having a back and forth yesterday on Twitter about that, and then I messaged him. I'm like, hey, let's get on the stream and talk about it because we're talking about like the Rippaverse comic, in ISOM 2. Well, mostly ISOM 1. I don't think that he's read ISOM 2, but talking about that, just like some of those things, and he's talking about my thoughts on it and why I think it's good. I'm like, like everything I have to say would probably be better for a discussion like on a live stream or something, or getting together to collaborate to do that, because to me, like my opinion on it, his opinion on it are obviously very fucking different. But I also feel like there's probably like, because you get on the internet and how it is, especially on Twitter, and I see a lot of the things that people discuss, and the same thing when it comes to these movies, these shows, and all that stuff. People are like, "Oh, it sucks," and it's like, okay, like yeah, I get it. It sucks. You don't like it. I like it. But like, what is it? Like, oh, it's got terrible writing. It's got this and that. Like, okay, like what's bad about it? Like, and then that's what I want to do is get him on. Like, okay, let's talk about it. I'll tell you the things that I think are good and what I'm saying, because even the things that I see in the comic book and I think are good are things that I don't even hear other people out there talking about when it comes to the book that are good, that they're seeing when it comes to the comic book. So I want to chop it up with him, and then maybe he can show me some things that he sees in the comic book that he's saying are bad. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm willing to admit that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am. Maybe I am just an Eric July simp. Maybe I'm just a Rippaverse simp, and I'm just towing that company line. Maybe I am. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I read the comic book. I think it's good. I don't think it's the best thing in the world. I don't think it's worse. I've definitely read worse comic books, like with story, art, and things like that. I would say, I mean, it's kind of there in the middle of the road. It was like, I thought the first one was a good start off to a comic universe, launching this comic company and everything. Like I said, I think they're just things that I see in it that some other people don't. Things that I don't think other people are even talking about. And matter of fact, I don't even know if Eric the Guapo is still in here, but there was some things that Eric the Guapo actually pointed out in a video that he did a while back before Isom even ever came out. A theory that he had about Isom and where that name may have something to do with the character itself, that I took and I was like, oh, because after I read the book, I'm like, you know what? I think Eric DeGuapo is actually onto something with some of his analysis of where Isom gets his name and possibly his powers in the Isom book. So I think there's some of that that I took from what he said, and then seeing the things I see in the comic book that I'm like, I think he was onto something there, and it's kind of led me to speculate on some of the things regarding that book. And I haven't really even got a chance to sit down and do any kind of spoiler talk or dig deeper into the book and do videos on it, like much more than my review. And if you go watch my Isom review, I pretty much just talk about, just like a basic review, not getting into spoilers or anything like that with the book, because especially when it was that new, when I did that video, there's nothing, I obviously don't want to talk a bunch of spoilers and ruin it for anybody who hadn't gotten their book in, hadn't got a chance to read it or anything like that. But I think there are things that I want to break down and show more of that I see from that book, especially the first one, and then get into the second book as well. And maybe I should do that on a live stream, or maybe there's things I could maybe do in a live stream, or maybe just take each different part and chop it up into different videos to show some of those different things with the aspects of the book, because I do think there's plenty of things that people are missing or just not paying attention to, because maybe one of the things, like even Lungo was kind of bringing up in our conversation, was like, look, there's a lot of people who bought into the Rippaverse and Isom and all that stuff who aren't necessarily comic book fans. A lot of people who were admittedly their first comic book and stuff like that, who probably just don't have the eye for seeing some of the things in the story to pull them out and extract some of that stuff out of there. And look, I'm not even the best at it either. I just think some of the things that I see, some of the things that happen in the dialogue, some of the things that happen on the panel, especially, like I said, even after Eric DeGuapo's kind of prediction about some of that stuff, that really kind of got me all right, I think there's a lot to be gleaned from here. So yeah. Chillmonger says, okay, I'm going to run my script by Eric to see if I'm being too obvious. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say Eric DeGuapo's pretty good. I mean, he knows his stuff. He's definitely a comic fan. Eric DeGuapo says, Yaira is a goddess. I'm calling it. Yeah, I think there's some things going on there for sure, Eric. And like I said, I'm not sure. I'm guessing you were here a few minutes ago. That video you did before Isom came out, where you're talking about Isom, Ishmael, how he, possibly how he got his powers, and basically that being translating to Ishmael, and it roughly translating to God hears us, I think was fucking spot on with some of the things in that as far as the character and where he gets his powers, because obviously, like you pointed out, he's got the cross on the belt. We see in the story where he wants to go help out Miss Johnson or whatever her name is, and go check and do this wellness check and stuff like that. People are like, oh, why would he do that? Just somebody he went to church with. No, it's not somebody he went to church. That's the thing. It's not. I don't think it's somebody he just went to church with. I think he is an agent of the church and possibly gets his powers through the power of God or the church, either way. But then, obviously in issue 2, we see that he specifically said that he was born into it, and it's in his blood, which means to me that possibly his family lineage goes back with this church for a long time. And that's why, obviously, like you were saying, God hears us. He would be there to help safeguard the people of their church, of their faith that they were based in, right? Like it just makes sense. And like some of that stuff I may not have even put together, like because some of the stuff in the comic book I was kind of like, when I first read it, I was like, oh, okay, I get why he's going out there and doing it for that reason. But then piling on top of that, like taking your video into consideration with that theory, I was kind of like, ooh, I think you definitely was onto something when it comes to that with the church and how it all plays in together. Yeah. Oh, the video. Yes. Yeah. I think you called it. I think you called it on that one for sure. Aglax says he has that cross on his belt sometimes. Is it just sometimes? I don't know. Is it just sometimes? I don't know. I mean, I think I seen it on there the whole time on his suit, on his super suit. I'm pretty sure I seen it on there. I'm pretty sure I seen it. Aglax, you don't even have the book. Don't. What are you doing? You know what though, Aglax, you probably got some time left. If you haven't read it, you can go on ripaverse.com and buy it right now for $5. Use coupon code PULLUP. That's all you got to do. Use coupon code PULLUP. I did. I went and did it because I didn't have cover C. I didn't have cover C, so I went and I used coupon code PULLUP, and I got 2 covers of cover C. I got one for me, one to give away. Who would have thought, right? Even though I do have some copies of A and B to give away as well. So yeah, Isom reminds me of the judges in Israel. Yeah. I think you're definitely onto something with that. I think there's definitely something to his powers and basically being empowered through the church, or at least his faith there. For sure. But anyway, guys, I've got to go. I don't think I've got anything else today. Like I said, I got this package in the mail that came in, and I know these were some goodies that came in from our friends over at Merc Publishing that I've got to get done. Don't forget, congratulations to Lucas Texvenger for winning this Hell Witch Forbidden. Make sure I get that shipped out to him this week along with his previous winning, and James Jimenez, your Black Widow book as well. Don't forget, the next thing we're going to be giving away to one of our channel members is Lady Death Cybernetic Desecration. You can become a channel member here on the channel for as little as $1. And there's some other tiers available there as well. And yeah, I think that's all I've got. Thank you all so much for being here today. Let's go ahead and watch this. Let's go ahead and watch this video on our way out that your boy Myrtle did here as we leave. You all have a good day. Later. No! See, I completely messed that up. I hit the wrong button. There. Where's the right button at? Where's the right button I was looking at? There we go.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Myrtle here. Welcome back to the channel, where today I walked up the street to some mailbox. I broke into it, took somebody's mail, and we're going to open it up in this edition of Mail Hydra. So this first piece of mails I got in right here is this little thing right here, man. It's something about a Teamsters unions or something and voting, and man, I don't know what y'all thinking, man. You think your boy Myrtle's part of the Writers Guild, or I'm some sort of weirdo actor? I don't think so. I certainly ain't gonna be voting in no kind of Teamsters union or nothing like that. Get out of here, man. Smash that like button. This next piece of mail we got right here, we got something in from the Bed Bath & Beyonds, and there's a free gift inside. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get this thing opened up right here, and you got... Oh, man, there ain't even nothing inside this thing, man. It says it's a free gift right on the front of the package. I don't know what the hell y'all trying to fool people, man. But anyway, the next thing we got here is this piece of mail right here from a thing called Valpak, and I just got a $100 check in here. So let's go ahead and go through here and look at the... Oh, man, There ain't no check in here for no $100. There's not even a coupon for a beer. What the hell's going on here, man? No. Alright, well, I guess the next thing I've got here to show off is I found this box here in the mailbox too. You know, when you go there and they have the little key inside that you go to the bigger box in your mailboxes. Well, inside there, it was like a little treasure trove. I got this box right here. Let's go ahead and open this thing up right here and see what's inside. So what we've got here is, you know, you open this little package up and it looks like this little thing right here. It's like some sort of little postcard, but it's actually just a coupon code to get a discount off their website at commanamericas.com. So make sure you go check them out. So the next thing we got here, we got this little Badger hoodie, man. Check it out. Yeah! Let's get down to some real business. The next thing we've got here, this is volume 8 of Common America, Fateful Lightning. Now, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like it's some sort of finishing move in the Street Fighters game. But I don't know, let me know what you think down in the comments below and I'll show off this next book we got right here. This right here is the Common America Volume 2 Omnibus. I don't even know what kind of bus it is. I ain't never seen no bus that don't have no wheels as long as it's not painted yellow. But anyway, this looks like it's a thickie. Looks like it's got some quite a few books inside of here. We'll go ahead and give this thing here a read. I know Trendy, he's got some of these other books here, so he's probably read most of these already. The next thing we've got here is we've got this little piece of art thing, man. It's like a big postcard kind of thing. Suppose you could probably put this thing in a frame and put it on the little wall right there and hang it up with all your other little cute stuff that you've got. Now, the final thing we've got here in this package is this little character card for common unity. That's something that we need here, man. It's some common unity. Was that community? Common unity? Oh man, I don't know, community. That's what I call it. But I don't know, man, it looks like we got us a pretty nice haul of stuff here from these things that I just stole from somebody else's mailboxes. Of course, I probably would have felt a little bit better had there been at least a coupon for some beer inside that Valpak thing. And hey man, where's my $100 check? Where's my free gift from the Bed Bath & Beyonds? That's all we got today, folks. Let me know down in the comments below. What'd you think about this haul, man? Was it worth committing a federal crime and possibly going to jail for a long, long time just to get these little books here in the mail and no coupon? I don't know, man. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Y'all have a very good day. We'll see you in the next video. Yeah!